Alright, it's time to head to the next level of hell, Crushed Spirits, which is the only level that's on the ground floor. The other two you have to jump up to by reaching those brains. During this level, you're going to see a facet of the gameplay you don't see very much, by which I mean I'm going to be running away from a lot of the fights, because I'm really terrified of losing my health and I just want to survive. But you can call it a casual speedrun if that makes you feel better. Right at the start of the level behind us, there's a secret area with almost nothing useful for us, and it has an enemy, so we're just going to ignore it. By sheer luck, this enemy dropped an anvil power-up, which gave us our 4th health bar back, which I'm grateful for. A goat and several skeletons spawn after we take out that pig. We're just going to ignore them entirely and jump up here. Now, right behind us, there's a small optional area. Relatively low risk, so we're going to go for it. That's really the only reason we are going for it, by the way. If I thought I was going to take damage, I wouldn't be doing this. And even though I managed to trigger this trap ahead of time, which is what I suggested you do, I jump into it before the clamps open all the way again. Probably one of the worst ways to take damage, because that was incredibly avoidable. Hitting enemies right as they crawl up out of the ground is always a good strategy. We can also hit enemies while they're still inside their caskets, but this is riskier since, as you might have noticed, the caskets are on fire. This means if we accidentally bump into them, then Maximo will take damage. Jumping from moving platforms onto stationary platforms is surprisingly challenging. But I've said it before and I'll say it again, being able to use your second jump at any time makes it a lot easier. That enemy dropped another anvil power-up, which means we're invincible for a brief period again. We're not going to get to do a lot with that invincibility. But it does mean we don't have to worry about this platform. It still knocks us over, but we don't take damage. Up here there's another one of those fire-breathing dragons that I almost always walk into. Not this time, though. This time I turned around. This next section has a lot of enemies, so we're just going to jump up on this wall and avoid them. There's another goat enemy down there, who you still haven't really seen in action yet. It's not that the goat enemies are particularly hard on their own, but they do charge straight at you, and that's a little difficult to deal with when you're fighting other enemies at the time. Don't worry, you'll get to see one soon enough, and yet another anvil power-up. This stage is just being really nice to me for some reason. Even though this level is called Crushed Spirits, there is a distinct lack of crushing instruments. The reason I'm running away from fights so much in this level is because we don't really have any of the defensive measures I'm looking for in order to combat enemies in this level. That was embarrassing. If we had the Storm Shield, or the Ring of Pain, which is an ability you haven't seen yet, then I would be fighting the enemies a bit more. These blades are really, really easy to jump through. The timing is just so, oh hey, here's the goat enemy. The timing on these things is just so lenient that it seems like an insult to tell you how they work. We do have the Lightning Shield equipped, which is the best shield for offensive capabilities. And if we manage to have it for the final world, you'll see me use it a lot there. I'm not quite sure what my excuse is for not using it properly in this level, but for some reason it just didn't occur to me that it could save my ass up here. This next platform has another dragon on it, so we're going to stay toward the very edges of the platform and let the enemies come to us. Now, if I were smart, I could have thrown my shield and destroyed them all very quickly. But again, for some reason, that just did not occur to me. It might be because of when I played this previous times and I was really terrified of losing my shield and thus my ability to block. That guy's an asshole. It might be because of previous times when I played this game I was terrified of losing my shield and my ability to block. But that doesn't really excuse the fact that if I would have just thrown my shield a couple of times, I wouldn't have gotten my ass handed to me in this tiny alcove. But yeah, we're We're down to 3 health bars now, which isn't so hot, but at least we got the Ring of Pain just now, which is one of my favorite power abilities. And because I hate myself, I'm trying to show you this extra area back here. Also because I want the key. We're gonna need a lot of keys for the final world. And this is about the point where I start being really self-conscious about how many we have. If there's one positive thing I can say about the outcome of this level, it's that we didn't die, and that the next level is really, really good for damage control. So assuming everything goes well next time, we'll have our 4 health bars back.